Well, good morning. Oh, I'm saying good morning, but you may be watching this in the evening. So let me just say happy day to all of you. Hi, everybody. My name is Elaine, and this is Real Talk with Elaine. And today we're going to delve into the audacity of exercise anxiety. Yes. Well, guys, let me just tell you, this is just a real day for me. Today is Wednesday and it's April 23rd. Yes, April 23rd, 2025. And I have to tell you about what happened to me today on my way to my exercise, to my trainer. So, for those of you who are just joining me, thank you for joining me. My name is Elaine. Again, this is Real Talk with Elaine. I come to you each week just trying to bring you information about how it is with this GLP1 journey. I am on a Mounjaro 12.5, and this is has been an interesting year for me. March 29th, 2024 was when I first started Mounjaro. I started at 5 milligrams and titrated up over the past year to 12.5. I have lost a whopping 62 pounds. I started out at 300 and I am now 238 pounds. So I haven't weighed in this week, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. So if you have not subscribed or liked my channel, please do that right now. Thank you. So we look forward to you being a part of our community. I look at our GLP-1 experience from a more emotional kind of situation, just to ensure that as we're going through this, we're tackling some of the things that put us in the situations that are in with our health. Whether you have diabetes, whether you just have a diagnosis of being obese or overweight, whatever it is you're on this journey for, trust me, the things that we kind of tackle here is more for our spiritual, mental, emotional wellness as we're going through this journey. So, let me get to my topic of today. Today, so for those of you who have been watching me, I started last week on a new exercise regimen, and I have hired a personal trainer. My personal trainer is Thomas. And unfortunately, I forgot to still take a picture of Thomas. I was supposed to do that this morning and completely forgot, but you'll understand why in a minute. So, Thomas has been really encouraging. It's a wonderful space and safe space for me, someone who is just getting into this training kind of thing for the first time, and it's just been very pleasant and enjoyable. I go to Thomas 3 times a week: Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 o'clock a.m. And so let me tell you what happened today. And I'm just going to be real. This is real Elaine today, okay? This morning I got up and my alarm went off at 4:10, and I do all my regular things I do: brush my teeth, wash my face, and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, let me get ready to go. I um I left out the house about 4:40 a.m. and on my way to Thomas, which is about 15-minute drive from my house, I had a full out panic attack. I mean, a full out panic attack on the road. I burst into tears. My heart was pounding. My face was sweaty. I felt like I was about to pass out. And that was just really scary for me. And I I have had a history of panic attacks in the past, but I have not had one recently at all, or within probably the past 5, 7 years or so. It was really nerve-wracking for me, especially being by myself driving that time of morning. And I had to really kind of assess what was going on with me. So I did my deep breaths and I tried to refocus my mind all the while still driving. And I got myself together, got to the Thomas's gym, which is like a warehouse. It is not a franchise gym. It is very much like a warehouse. I'll probably post that picture of that video quickly again here so you can see what I'm talking about. So I got to his gym and he was there. The person that I work out with in the morning, she hadn't arrived yet. So, and her name's Tasha. And so I got in and Thomas said, "Good morning, Elaine. How are you?" And what do we always respond with? "Oh, I'm fine. Just had a full out panic attack on the way over here. Thought I was going to have to pull over to the side of the road, call the medics, have them take me to the hospital just to confirm that I'm not having a heart attack," which it truly felt like. But I'm fine, Thomas. Good morning. How are you? So he goes immediately into putting me into my warm-up exercises and everything. And by that time, Tasha had come. So he's giving her assignments. I have my assignments. He's coming back and forth between the two of us, which he does extremely well doing that. I don't feel cheated out of my time or anything. And so eventually I, like 30 minutes into we have an hour workout every morning, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And 30 minutes into, I broke down crying in the middle of me lifting, like lifting these weights, barbells or whatever, right? I'm lifting and I'm lifting, and I broke down crying. He was like, "Are you okay? Is everything okay? What hurts? What's going on? Talk to me." And I'm like, "No." I mean, heck yeah, I'm still hurting because I'm hurting from, I started last Wednesday. So this is my fourth day, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, and today is Wednesday. So I'm like, and I'm like, no, I'm not crying because something hurts. I'm crying because I'm very proud of myself. Because I was like, I asked him, I said, "Have you all ever heard of exercise anxiety?" And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "I had a panic attack on the way here this morning and I didn't want to tell y'all." I said, "Because I was so embarrassed." And he said, "No, don't ever feel like that. When you got something like that going on, you need to let me know. I need to know how to work through that with you mentally." God, y'all, what? Like, I just feel like I have this trainer from heaven that just beamed down and just fell in my life. And I am so excited that I have this opportunity to work with him because absolutely. That's what I mean, I need that. I needed to know I wasn't crazy. I needed to know that something really was going on here. And let me tell you, I've dealt with exercise anxiety all my life. And I was very active as a teenager, as a college student. I was active in the band. So I always had exercise was always a part of my regimen. This obesity was not until my later adulthood that I started gaining weight and it becoming out of control, as well as it affecting my metabolic. And so that was really interesting that he just came with such comfort and support. And so did Tasha. She shared her experiences, and we just had like maybe a 3 to 4 minute powwow of them sharing with me. It was okay for me to share this, and it was okay that I felt like this, but I needed to let him know when I felt like this so he could help me work through what it really was. And for me, I think I was just afraid as to where he was going to take me to today, because every day that I've gone, there's been something different. And, it started off really light day one, but each day has been progressively different. And of course, he has to do that because he has to see where my strength level and my baseline is. And that has been um, that's been pretty good working out for me. And I'm always pushing and pushing through. But the main thing he said, "I'm so proud of you, Elaine, because you pushed through." I could have, the whole fight and flight syndrome, I could have did the flight. I could have been out of there. I mean, like technically, when I had that panic attack on the road, I started to turn my car around and go back home because I felt like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna cry. I felt like I can't do this. Every time I try to exercise, this happens, and I'm not doing this anymore. But I did not. I persevered and I went in there and I did what I had to do. So, if you've experienced something like this, make sure you drop that in the chat. Tell me how you dealt with some of these experiences. And if you're experiencing that now, and that's what's keeping you, because I watch a lot of our content creators, and not just content creators, but people who just, come on and speak on YouTube and TikTok, and they share, their journey on the GLP-1 medications, but they never share what they're doing physically to try to help move things along, especially when we get in stalls. And you all know I was stalled for like 4 or 5 months and was seeing nothing, no progress. And now the scales are moving again. And so there are things that I had to put in place, such as incorporating, um, higher calories in my diet because I wasn't eating much. And then now the exercise. So let me tell you a little bit about why people do experience exercise anxiety. Number one, physical sensations. Sometimes doing the physical changes that you're feeling while you're exercising can kind of thrust you into it. So you might begin to feel lightheaded, or you might begin to feel like like you're going to pass out. You may start sweating really bad or getting shortness of breath. These can kick off a panic attack anytime, especially if you're prone to it. So you must continue to remember that those are natural signs of or effects of your exercise regimen. It's not so much that you're having a heart attack, which we often feel that's what's happening, but you are just having physical sensations from the regimen that you're doing with your exercise. Number two, fear of injury or pain. We are scared of pain. Come on. Some of us don't want to have pain. What does the old adage say, or the old cliche? No pain, no gain. So it's important that we understand pain is going to be inevitable. There are things that you can do to help reduce pain. You guys know I fell 2 weeks ago, hurt my knee. One of the things that I noticed as it's one particular exercise that Thomas has me doing, is particularly one I do doing warm up, and I started feeling like a snap or pulling in my right knee. And so he already knew I had failed. I did let him know that up front. I was very transparent. And he had me buy these sleeves for my knee just to make sure while I'm healing that everything's going okay. But now that I'm feeling some other additional pulling or popping going on in my right knee, I have made an appointment to a doctor so that I can get my knee checked out. And so what he's doing is strengthening my left side right now, because he wants to make sure that if anything comes up where I have to have surgery, that my left side, my left knee will be strong enough to sustain my weight. So I hope I don't have to go through that at least for a long time, or at least not for at least 6 months. I will try to hold off because I really want to get my left side and my core strong enough to be able to manage, just in case something happened. Like, I don't think it's an ACL or anything, but it could be a meniscus or something. So I just want to make sure that I'm good. But don't fear pain. Do something about it. Ice down. Make sure you're icing. I'm icing every time I leave the gym. And this is my best friend, BioFreeze, the overnight. I love it. Like this right here for my back, my knees, anything that's hurting my shoulders. My shoulders give me a lot of pain, so I do continue to use the BioFreeze for that. All right. So, social anxiety. Sometimes we worry about how our appearance of our performance is. That's why I don't really like going to the franchise gyms, as I told you. And I'll show you a little bit of Thomas's gym. It's not a franchise gym. It is a warehouse, and he just has some basic equipment up in there, but it gets the job done. And I like it because I don't have to go in and be around all of the weightlifting gurus and everything. And I'm not comfortable with that. But sometimes that prevents us from being able to get what we need to do for ourselves done, because we are afraid of the appearance of, what people may be judging us on. We don't know how to use the machines in those gyms and different things, the equipment in those gyms. So, we get a little discouraged, and we may walk out and still pay $10 a month for gym membership. I'm guilty. Yes, I'm guilty. Anyway, hypervigilance. This is when, anxious individuals may be kind of overly aware of their body sensations. Sort of like, if you know anybody that's like a hypochondriac, like every time something's going on, oh my God, this is a sign of cancer. Oh my God, this is, I have, I got migraines because, and my migraines now leading to a tumor or whatever, hey, we know, all of us know someone like that, right? So, but don't be over sensational about what's going on with your body. There are some natural things that's going to happen as your body is transitioning, and I'm waiting to experience those. Trust me, I'm not there yet. Remember, this is day 4, but I want to continue tracking this journey periodically for you so that you'll understand I am feeling those things. I feel those things. And when I wake up in the morning, my body tells me every day, don't you go over there to Thomas. He gonna kill you today. He gonna kill you. And I'm like, nope. And I have to fight those mental kind of grumblings in my head and say, but I can get through it. And I know he'll help me get through it. So I'm excited that that's something that I have now that I can say to myself. And then finally, we experience this anxiety, exercise anxiety, because of past experiences. So negative associations with exercise can cause that. I know that's what I have. I know that's what I dealt with, because I've had some negative things through exercising where I didn't feel comfortable. I was afraid to try something because I thought I would get hurt. Another thing is, if you've ever been hurt before exercising. My daughter was a basketball player throughout high school and college, and she started getting her injuries in the 10th grade. She tore ACL in the 10th grade. And then from that point on, she had 4 knee surgeries since then. And she got to a point, she was like, Mom, I can't do it anymore. As much as I wanted her to play, much as I hoped that she would have, a really good future doing something in basketball, because we'd invested so much as a child when she was growing up, I was like, I understand. I mean, it's not me tearing my knees up out there on the court all the time and getting surgery after surgery after surgery. And I think it just the fear of it pulled her out of the game, because she just was scared to get injured again. So that can create mental barriers when you've had a negative experience with exercising. But understand, if you put yourself in the right hands, in the good hands of a trainer or someone who can guide you through the proper way to exercise, that should not be a problem. Okay. So how do we overcome this anxiety? Quick few things that I want to share. Start small. Do not walk into a gym and pick up 100-pound barbells or whatever and start trying to lift these things. You will get hurt. You will be discouraged. I don't even know if you'll make it. You might fall out and pass out, So understand, just try low intensity activities. Start off walking. I started walking in my 2nd or 3rd month. I think my 3rd month. Yes. I started in March, so April, May. My 2nd month in 2024, I started walking, and I started doing a half a mile a day, then a mile a day, then a mile and a half, and 2. I added a half a mile until I got up to 3 miles. Now, I will tell you, in the fall, I dropped off. Everybody knows it, because I was so disappointed in myself, mainly because it was cold, but I still should have been doing something. So I completely dropped off in the fall. So I plan to, now that I have a trainer, I don't have to worry about that because I don't have to push myself. I have someone else that's encouraging me to go farther. Um, Incorporate resistance training first. What Thomas is doing with me is mainly resistance training right now. I'm not doing a whole lot of weightlifting. He's preparing my body to weightlift. So if you've never done weightlifting before, just picking up some barbells or some, free weights or whatever, and thinking you're just going to go for it, it's not going to work that easily for you. You really, the proper way, and I've seen other people just start directly, and I did it too when I started strength training. I just started strength training with my free weights. And that really is not the correct thing to do, especially not with anything maybe over 3 to 5 pounds, because you want to build your body up to get to that point. And now I understand the importance of it. And I look at the other young lady who's been there a year, Tasha, and Tasha's lifting like 135, 140 over her head and on her shoulders and doing all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't think I'm ever going to get there. And Thomas was like, oh, yes, you will. So he's just building my strength right now in my arms and my legs so that I will be able to endure the weight training that's going to come, and the weight lifting, that's going to come after that. So the other good thing about it is it's helping me to building up my muscle mass, okay? Because with GLP-1s, with any weight loss, I hate when people say GLP-1s cause you to lose muscle mass, because any weight loss cause you to lose muscle mass. So you have to work out and you have to strength train. Staying hydrated, that's the next thing. Making sure that we're continuing to drink our water all the time. I drink water before, during, and after my exercises. Okay. I do like this water. I've held this up for a reason. This is Essentia. I like it because it's so pure, and it has a lot of it has electrolytes in it already. And I love that because I feel stronger and I feel like replenished after I drink it. So certainly make sure you are staying hydrated. And finally, make sure you stay in touch with your healthcare provider throughout your exercise regimen. They need to know your provider needs to know what you're doing, how it's coming, so share those things with them. If you don't have a provider that absolutely cares about you, I'm glad I said that, because this week I saw a content creator who said that she had a provider that changed on her, had the provider change because her provider stopped servicing that office. And so the new provider that came, just was so different, treated her so nasty, so disrespectful, made it appear that, she wasn't trying as to why she wasn't losing weight. It was just a whole lot of elements involved in it. And I felt really bad listening to her share her experience. And I'll tell you, I fired a doctor on this journey already. I did. I got rid of one of the first doctors that I was seeing when I first started this, because I knew he just didn't care, and he didn't care about me. He didn't know anything about me culturally. And that was another issue. He felt like, I think he just had an impression that, that the culture that I was from, that we were just prone to be lazy and prone to be, overweight. I was going to say fat. I hate that word, but prone to be overweight. And the reason why I'm saying that is because he alluded to it in so many different ways during my visits with him. And so I decided, you're not going to be healthy for me on this journey. So I sought out, another provider, and I have the best provider right now that's taking care of me. He is compassionate. He understands. He wants to know everything I'm feeling and going through on this journey. And I really like that about him. He does require me to do my labs every 3 months, because he just wants to see where things are. How am I progressing? And the exercise thing, he made me get on something. He told me, it's time. It's a year. You need to get into something strategic. And so I'm glad I did. So that's all I have for you on today. Thank you so much for joining me. Do me a favor. If you are experiencing or have experienced exercise anxiety before, please drop that in the chat and tell me what you did. I could learn some things from you. Okay, so I am going to incorporate some new things for myself so that I do not walk in fear as I'm going to, my training sessions and everything. But I need you to tell me what you're doing. What are some of the things you can help me with, and what can some of our community members help you with? So just reach out. Don't suffer in silence on that. It's not something that I found out today. I'm not alone. Okay, like Michael Jackson, you are not alone. Okay, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. So thank you. Do me a favor, if you stuck around to the end, put you a nice big strong arm in the chat so I can know that you're here and you're going to strength train and you're going to get this done, and we're going to stick together, right? All right. Love you guys. Take care. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Bye.